Hey, hello everybody. Good morning, Len Mooney here, and this is Tuesday, January 19th, and it's Lunch with Len. And we have a special guest today. Bill Moore is on with us. He's going to be talking to us a little bit about Tweet Jukebox. But meanwhile, Chris, I see you're out there. I'm an arsonist too. You're the only other person out there. I was hanging out for a minute or two here waiting. Larry Ryan was the one that suggested he wanted Bill to teach us this stuff. So hopefully he's going to show up. And Rick. But we were chatting about Facebook, Chris. And in fact, yeah, I mean, if you want to come over and join the conversation, you're welcome to. But we'll let Bill do his presentation first. But Bill's beginning to get leads from Facebook. And we were just talking about using an auto poster. And what I was about to say, Bill, is that Phil Snipes, who is the moderator of one of the MLM groups, and I forget which one, but I could easily find out. It'd take me a few seconds, and but he has an auto poster that he's using, and I know he's posting in a fairly substantial number of groups. So there's at least one auto poster out there apparently that works. And here we have Craig. Hello, Craig. Good morning. And so I was thinking. To be honest, I was thinking that I was going to grab Phil's auto poster and try it out. There's a $1 trial, and then I think it's $10 a month. So it's not a huge expense. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. If the auto poster is being checked by the groups and you can't use it, that doesn't do any good. So apparently, at least at that level, Phil Snipes has one that's working.
Now that's, what I'm talking about is that security check where they page will pop up and it says click on all the images of lions, for example. That was very prevalent for me last week. Today I have not seen that at all, and I've posted in about 60 groups already, and I have not seen that.
I haven't seen that thing pop up in forever. I remember that.
Last week, it was driving me crazy because probably about a third to a half of all my groups had that in there. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, is that a group thing or is it a Facebook thing?
I think it's a group thing because you have to do that before you can post. You can put the information in it, but before you upload it to the group, you have to go through that security check.
I had the impression, and I could be wrong, I had the impression that was something that Facebook was doing. It wasn't the groups themselves doing it.
But I don't know.
I don't know the answer either. So
yeah.
I haven't. Yeah, Chris says she hasn't seen it in a while. I can't remember the last time I saw that, but I do remember what you were talking about. It was happening a lot.
Yeah, over the weekend, it was just all over the place. But today, I have not seen it at all. So I don't know what's going on.
I wonder if that's something that happens now. You're posting in a lot of new groups that you haven't posted in before.
Well. Yeah, let's put it mildly. I haven't posted to any of the Facebook groups. The home business type groups are MLM and all that. I haven't posted any of those. I started last Tuesday is when I started.
Okay.
And I started picking up my posting efforts more heavily on the weekend. In other words, I'm posting 2 or 3 times a day now.
Okay. Well, this is going to be an interesting topic, and we probably ought to break this off and go ahead and talk about what we said we were going to talk about today, which is Tweet Jukebox. But Clive Jeffries is going to be on Thursday, and Clive is doing a lot of Facebook posting, and he's having a lot of good luck with Facebook, a lot of results. So that is the specific reason that I invited Clive to join us, and maybe we can chat with Clive about what he's doing.
Okay.
So, Craig, Bill, how much time do you need to do Tweet Jukebox?
Well, I guess a lot of it depends on how many questions we have. I can show you probably in maybe 10 or 15 minutes all the working things about Tweak Jukebox and what you can do with it.
Okay, why don't we postpone the rest of this conversation about Facebook and get you doing Tweak Jukebox? And I'm just going to put out there for anyone who's interested that at 12 o'clock, Bart Bledsoe is doing the MLSP Hangout today at 12 o'clock, 12 noon our time. Sorry, 12 noon California time, which is 25 minutes from now, and it's about using the MLSP system campaigns to get yourself into profit rapidly. That's the topic. Should be interesting. So I'd like to go watch that. I'm registered for it, and anyhow, should be interesting. So why don't I shut up and let you get going, Bill, and tell us all about Tweak Jukebox.
Okay, let me see how I share my screen. Yeah, okay, right here.
Cool. Craig says he got 22 leads since he started posting on Facebook groups. Okay, so Facebook groups is a hot topic. We got to talk about this some more.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, this is Tweak Jukebox. Now, what we want to do is we want to automate our posts on Twitter. So the idea is to set up Tweak Jukebox to do this. Now there's 2 or 3 different ways you can do this. Right here under my jukeboxes, I'll open it up. This is how many jukeboxes I have running. The first one and the second one, the third one, and the last one are jukeboxes that are provided by Tweak Jukebox. So I'm going to open this one up. You can see this has got 500 quotes. It's got 500 records in the database. What it does is it randomly selects one and sends it off at the scheduled time. So you can schedule these. So you can go to scheduling, and you can see that I've got these set up for every 6 hours and 40 minutes, starting at 12:08 a.m. And it goes round the clock, Monday through Sunday. They're all on and they're all up and running. Now I can go to my second jukebox, take a look at the same thing. These are running every 4 hours and 30 minutes, starting at 12:24 a.m. Notice the time difference here. I've got these staggered. This is a free bonus photo, and I've got him running every 6 hours and 10 minutes, starting at 12:46 a.m. And it's all the same time. And then this is my quotes that I've got set up. They run every 4 hours and 20 minutes, starting at 12:38 a.m. Monday through Friday. And this is the last one. 4 hours and 25 minutes, starting at 12:18 a.m. Now, what's nice about this, I can go down to, let's see, right here, visual scheduling. And this is all my jukeboxes. This is when they're scheduled. So I can go in here and make sure that I'm not tweeting at the same time. In other words, I want to spread out my tweets during the day. Now, once you get a jukebox up and running and you've got him enabled, it runs forever until you go there and change it. It will continuously send out messages, and when it's complete, like this one, the 500 quotes, after it sends out all 500, it starts over. So let's take a look at this. You can see I'm sending out 4 tweets a day. So 500 tweets is going to last, several days, which is what, about 3 months, I guess.
Yeah, about 120 days.
Yeah, at the end of 3 months, it's going to start over.
Okay.
The unique thing is nobody's going to remember those tweets from 3 months ago.
Sure.
So these things are continuously cycling and broadcasting. Okay, that's what the jukeboxes are all about.
Okay.
Now, depending on what subscription you have, will tell you how many jukeboxes you're going to have simultaneously.
So, Bill, let me back up and ask you a question. And there's a couple of questions in the chat already too. So, first off, Craig's asking, is this a free or paid system? I think you're just about to answer that. But I think you said 4 of the jukeboxes came with Tweet Jukebox, so you didn't have to do anything. They're already there.
Well, yeah, I'll go over that here in a minute.
Okay.
What's the other question?
Well, free or paid?
Okay. Mine is a paid version. Now, I've been on Tweet Jukebox probably since late September, early October. November 1st, they went to a paid subscription. They still offer a free version, but I'll show you the differences. We'll take a look at the pay plans. The free version has the capability, but it's limited what you can do. In other words, you can only have 2 jukeboxes. You can only broadcast 300 tweets a day or 5 scheduled tweets. And you have 1 linked Twitter account. And you only have 50 thank you tweets. I'm running the advanced version right now because I have 2 Twitter accounts. So I can have up to 3 linked Twitter accounts, 10 jukeboxes, 5,000 tweets, or 50 scheduled tweets. Now you can see the pro and the business. It goes on up. But with the advanced, you can have 3 Twitter accounts that you can run simultaneously. I'm running 2 simultaneously right now. So I hope that answers that question.
Mm-hmm. So what's a thank you tweet?
Oh, let me see if I could. Well, I don't want that. How did I get here? Let me go to home. Let me see if I can pull one up. We can take a look at it. I don't exactly remember. I think they're built in.
Okay.
Thank you tweets right here. Okay. Here are the thank you tweets. And I believe these are canned messages here. Right here.
Right.
You only have 45 characters.
Okay.
So you can either enable or disable. And maximum's 100, and I'm only allowed 50, so mine's running at maximum capability. That's all I can do.
Okay.
And I've never touched this. It's default settings, and I'm up and running.
Okay.
Now, if you remember, I talked about these jukeboxes. The first 3 are provided by Tweet Jukebox. You can go to Jukebox Library and take a look at the jukeboxes that are in the library that you can use. These are all preloaded jukeboxes. And you can see I've got 10 pages, and there's probably, looks like 12 per page. So there's 120 jukeboxes that are predefined for you already. You don't have to do anything except load them up and turn them on. That's all you have to do.
Okay.
They're ready to go. Now, what you're going to want to do eventually is set up a, oh, come on, let's go back. Yeah, you want to set up your own jukebox right here. Now I've been doing a lot of posting on Instagram, so I have up a database with byquotes in here. Now, notice this little field right here. This is where you can put an image in here. So on Twitter, you can post images, and I'll show you that here in a minute, how you can do that. But I've been just putting all my, not all of them, but some of my Instagram tweet or Instagram quotes in here. And then I put some hashtags if I have room for them. And you can see this one was transmitted on 12/8, 12/11, 10/20, 10/16. I don't see any recent on this page, but that's how that could work. Now, in addition to your jukeboxes, there's one other feature called scheduled tweets. Now this is the sweet one here. See the first two right here? This is my Periscope. This is System Campaign Periscope. And I've got two images here that I've loaded in here. So when it posts this on Twitter, it posts an image and then my message. Now, if you'll look, the message is identical. The only difference is the shortened URL. So I use a URL shortener, and by doing that, these messages are unique. Every one of them are going to be unique after that. Now, once you have these guys set up, you can turn these on. And, well, I don't see. Well, I guess when you set these up, you have to select a time when they're going to be broadcast. I think the shortest interval you can have is every 5 hours. So depending on what I'm doing, you can see I've got these two running. So I try and stagger these like on the hour and at the half hour. So I separate them by like 30 minutes when I set these up. But I use the same messages, but the URL shortener is different. Because each time you run it, you can have a unique URL. And that's all there is. Now, what's nice about this is that if you want to drive a lot of traffic in a very short time on Twitter, you can put in a couple of messages and, well, you can put up to like 4 messages and let them run around the clock. And I did that on one campaign. There was somebody was putting out on Twitter a couple months ago. And what you had to do is you had to get 5 people to click on your link and take a look at this. So I put I think 3 of these messages up under scheduled tweaks and let it run overnight. And I had about 10 people sign up. So I drove that much traffic in a very short time.
Cool.
This is very powerful. A lot of people are not even using this. What they're doing is using the jukebox. But this is very powerful right here. And I think I could have 50 of these running on 2 accounts. And I don't have near that many running. The other thing is recent mentions that we haven't talked about. This goes out in every time you're either mentioned or they repost your stuff. It'll tell you where it came from and who did it and all this kind of stuff. So you can see I got just a bunch of reposts and recomments and all kinds of stuff going on. Now, this is my big Twitter account. I've got another one that I'm building up, and it's this one right here. And I think I've got 3 jukeboxes running. And got some scheduled tweaks. I've got my, the only thing I have here is my Periscope running. Once every 5 hours is the scheduled time for them to go out. And you can see right here, last time it was posted was 11:15, 10:45, 11:30, and 12. So I've got them staggered by at least 15 minutes. So I try and spread that out so you won't get all of them at one time. You got to be careful about that. And it takes time to figure out how to do that, because the first time I had a bunch of them scheduled probably within 15 minutes of each other, and you don't want that. You want to spread them out over the hour. So with that,
well, come back there. That looks like within 15 minutes of each other.
But right here?
Yeah. 119, 11:15, 119, 10:45, 119, 11:30, 12 o'clock.
See, that's 30-minute interval all the way down.
Oh, okay. All right, you're right. It's 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But it's 30 minutes around the clock now. It's not just once a day. This is running 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 until I go in here and delete them.
Right. So these actually have links on. So if I got this tweet and I clicked on it, it would take me to the Periscope training link, presumably at MLSP.
Yes.
Now, what about other tweets? The other jukeboxes that are running, are any of them clickable, or is this the only one that generates leads?
No, they're all clickable. Well,
okay.
All of the scheduled tweets have clickable links.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of the information that I'm running on Twitter, like this jukebox, is nothing but quotes.
Right.
I'm sending quotes out.
So those are not clickable links.
No, there is no link here.
Right.
It's just a quote.
So they cannot result in a lead.
No. But it's information.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of people comment on the quotes. They retweet the quotes. I've had just a bunch of responses just from the quotes.
So all of this is the part of putting out value.
Exactly.
And then the other scheduled quotes are the ones that are actually producing leads.
Yes. And the scheduled tweets are the ones I can go in there and change anytime I want.
Right.
And I'll periodically do that. Change them up. Take a look at the timing interval and see if it makes sense or not.
Now, how did you determine the timing intervals and the start times for all these different jukeboxes?
Trial and error.
Okay.
When I first started out, I just turned them on basically. It said 5-hour interval and just let it run.
Okay.
And then I went back and started looking at some of my posts and found out that within an hour, I may have 10 or 15 posts going out within a 10-minute span. And I said, hey, that's not good. That's, people could deduct that I'm trying to spam them or something if I send out a whole bunch of stuff, within a 10-minute interval. So I said, I need to sit down and spread this out.
Okay.
So I generated a spreadsheet and I started posting the times, and then I could see a physical representation of the 24-hour day and how often I was sending these out.
Mhm.
And then I could go in there and adjust it.
Okay. Now, Chris is asking, can you set up blog posts? Not 100% sure. I guess,
No, this is all Twitter.
right, but I'm going to assume that Chris means tweet. Like if I just generated a new blog post and I hit tweet, it tweets my blog post. Is that what you mean, Chris? You want to come over and tell us what you mean? Here, I know we only got a couple of minutes, Chris. Let me click you over. Yeah, I know, and I know we're going to run out of time here for the 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah. So what do you mean by that question, Chris? Hello? I see you.
Now I can't hear you, Lynn.
You can't hear me?
Yeah,
Can
you
you hear
can. I
me?
can hear you. Yes.
Yes, we hear you. We hear you. Ask your question.
I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me, Chris?
That's what I meant. Bill, can you schedule your blog posts within Tweet Jukebox? No, I can't hear Bill either.
He's not talking.
Kick me out and bring me back in.
Larry says he can hear everyone. Here you go.
No, I still can't hear you.
Well, I wasn't talking. Can you hear me now?
So kick me back out. But that was my question. Bill, can you schedule your blog posts within Tweet Jukebox and kick me back out, Lynn, so that I can hear his answer?
Okay, I still don't exactly understand your question. Can you schedule your blog post with Tweet Jukebox? Tweet Jukebox is only for Twitter. It does not connect to anything else. So if you want to do a Twitter post about your blog post and drive traffic with a link, you can use this to set up a Twitter post and have it go out whatever you want.
So, like my website, let's just play with this for a minute. And I realize we're really out of time, but my website has, I don't know, I must have a couple hundred blog posts on that website. So I could load the link to each of those blog posts into a jukebox and just started rotating through them if I wanted to.
In other words, you have 140 characters that you can say something about your blog post and put a link within that 140 character to your blog.
Yeah. Okay. So I
set it up and let it run.
I think that answers the question, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know because I don't completely understand it either. Okay. Well, look, we're at the top of the hour, and like we said at the beginning, we have the MLSP webinar here at noon, and I think it's going to be a good one. I'd like to hear what Bert has to say, and I know Chris has to go. So let's go ahead and knock this off. We're going to have Clive Jeffries on Thursday. Next Tuesday, I'm going to have Michael. What's his last name? He's the Walk Across America guy. That'll be really interesting. And then we'll have plenty of time to come back and ask more questions of Bill if at any point we want to. So I don't mean to cut you short, Bill, but we're running into this noon webinar. So let's go ahead.
That's fine. I want to go to that too. So
okay. Well, let me stop the broadcast and get us out of here. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. That's a lot of interesting information. I got a couple more questions. We'll catch them some other time.
Okay, you can catch me on Facebook.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.